very well.
You have areas in the northeast of the country where the income is a lot less than, for instance, in Bangkok or in other regions, and you have a constant flow of young women from these rural areas to the tourism hotspots, but sex tourism hotspots, where it is known that they can make easy money or fast money. Not always true, not aware of the kind of exploitation that they might expose themselves to, but it appears to be a self-feeding machine that has no immediate stop inside. Especially in destination countries in Asia, Africa, South America, are usually those that can be exploited at a lower cost. So that goes also for the exploiter, who might have a less spending power as a result of the global downturn, and some of these tourists that had been meaning to be just sex tourists originally might find that it is cheaper and maybe more convenient for them during the current circumstances to address children just because they are cheaper. We know that there are big numbers that might be involved in this kind of exploitation. We should consider that in some cases we still are faced with a degree of corruption in the police force locally. So our first goal is to make it possible that those countries that have sex offender registers share the information of the traveling intent of these offenders. Of course, this is a measure that once the offender reaches the destination, if that offender changes and moves to a different country, there are limitations. But individual governments can and should favor the circulation of information about this crime, and sometimes it is not as easy because, of course, very often the crime of child sex tourism happens miles away, thousands of miles away from Australia, from the United States, from Europe, and so on. So it might not be one of the priorities on the government's agendas, and that is also why we are still again trying to involve the tourism industry, because we have tourism industry not only in the destination countries but also in the tourist sending countries. So starting from the travel agents, from the tour operators, the information, the awareness could be raised in terms of making the travelers, mainstream travelers of course, and I mean aware of what the phenomenon is, what they might actually witness in terms of suspicious cases that they might come across when on holiday, and providing hotline numbers, providing police numbers, providing NGO contacts, telephone numbers, or dedicated email addresses that they can use and actually explain what they have seen, what they have witnessed, without putting themselves in danger, without actually having to confront anybody.